Howdy, I'm BG, and I've been hearing a lot about how to make these stoves. First of all, I use 91% alcohol. This is the hobo style penny stove, named for the penny. It covers the hole. It forces the air after heated up out the holes. So let's make it. Let's keep the penny. So, first of all, I use 2 cans. I need them at 2 different heights. If you look and notice, one would be taller and one would be a little bit shorter. So what we'll do is right off the bat, name number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is pretty much a base. Let's set him over here for a second. Alright. If you ain't got a Sharpie, it's easy to follow some simple lines on the can. Most of them have very distinguishing marks. Even a center mark when you need to cut the center out to use it for different things. So, around here is about as high as we'd ever need it. But, I like to use a cigarette pack for base and a little bit higher than a cigarette pack. My wife actually made a clutch purse, wallet type thing for carrying everyday goods, and I think it's about perfect. It gives me a little bit, especially when I give it pressure. So, what I need to do, make sure we got number 1 can. He's going to get all the work. Set him on there good and firm, and then we just simply spin the can. We're making a uniform line all the way around that don't have to be followed 100%, but it's always good to have a good line. Now we're going to take it out. Boom. Let's bring back number 2, and now we got a little bit shorter one. It don't even have to be all the way around. I mean, I'm sure you was in school, cut the dotted line. We're just needing a semi-close. Now, we'll set number 2 over to the side, and number 1 gets all the work. Okay, make sure you got number 1. First of all, we need a thumbtack. Well, I happened to be blundering through Dollar Tree and found an awesome thumbtack that I don't really have to hurt my fingers on. I can press it through bigger. But for sake of argument, a thumbtack will do this. It just hurts your fingers and take longer. So let's throw this little bastard over here. Alright, we got us a thumbtack. First thing we need to do is think about our penny. Our penny is that big around. The holes we make in the top do not need to exceed the diameter of the penny. So, we're going to keep them close to the center. We're going to put 5 or 6 holes. It's according to how stupid you are if you're going to mess them up or not. Now, the good thing about messing up, if you mess them up and get a hole too close together, it actually bends upward, which gives it a vent to suck the air down instead of vapor locking in the top. A good mess up actually helps this process out. But for sake of argument, don't be a fuck up. Going right down in the center. We're going to come right up on the edge. Come around it a little bit. Think about where our center is. We don't got to be precise. Putting some holes in there. We're like, that's about enough. Hey, shits and giggles, let's put another one. And let's, oh crap, I'm a mess up. I pulled it sideways a little bit. Here, let's mess up a little worse. Just think if you were using a knife. These holes wouldn't be near as exact, correct? Exactly. A knife will work well here too. Okay, so now we got our holes in our top. The penny covers it. Good job. You didn't mess up. So now we need holes around the side. The most easy way to describe this is, here's your half, here's your quarter. So let's, for stupid people, bam. That's quartering it out. What we need is 16ths. So we need 16 holes around this edge. So let's start at half. Now, first of all, don't put your holes up in the edge. Go more towards this edge and then up and then down. We don't want to be piercing the side, and we don't want to come stupid out through the side. So let's go about right here. Now is that, you see what I got? Now I'm going to go halfway across from it. Let's start there. That's how you're supposed to do it, because most people don't put a Sharpie on the top. Now, we half that again. Now, we half that again. Now, we're not going to Sharpie all this, man. We're in the woods, dude. We're in a hurry. We need to eat. So what we're going to do is just put our holes in. Now, that should be 8, right? If I didn't miss nothing. Dude, put a little hole between every hole, and you're done. Just go all the way around. We're good. Now we're ready to cut. So first of all, we need a good cutting utensil. You can use razor blade, box knife, razor, whatever, pocket knife, daggone, try it with a hatchet. If you can pull it off, you're awesome. But check us out. We got our pre-drilled little daggone blue line in here. So I like to just wiggle it back and forth for a minute, and then you'll feel it sink, you know? And then once you feel it sink, you just kind of down pressure. And we're not going for beautiful here, by the way. We can trim up edges. You can tear edges. What we're trying to do is make a stove and eat. Now, at the last little bit, do not hold your thumb there and come up all stupid. Come on the back side and hold it somehow where you're not got your anything over here. Be over here. Don't be over here. Safety first. Remember, I want to see y'all around later. So look. There's our first piece. Guess what? Here's trash. But guess what? That ain't trash. We can use that in a different episode. But anyway. Number 2. First of all, leave him there till we get done with number 1. Number 1 needs one more step. It's hard to actually take something and shove it in something the exact same size. What we're going to do with a pair of needle nose little pliers here is make this object a little smaller. We can do that easily. We got 16 holes up here. We don't need 16 crimps, but we need about that many. So what we're going to do is about every time we look up and see a hole, reach about that far down. You don't got to go all the way to the edge. Leave you a little gap. You know, you can even start it halfway. All these stoves are unique to you and how you cut your can and everything. So let's go about right there. You know, let's give it a little crimp inward. All I'm doing is twisting to the right. I'm going to move up about a finger width. Now, if you look up, them holes are about a finger width apart too. So look, I'm going to go about a finger width. I'm going to grab it again. Just a little twist. Now I'm going to get faster because, like, I need to drink a beer. Because it's getting boring along. So look, don't do it too hard. About a finger width apart all the way up. Just grab it and twist. They don't got to be straight. A little bit could be crooked. You don't want to get too high like I did on that one. That's kind of a no-no. But like I said, hey, they will work. You're putting flammable crap in something that's under pressure. What we're doing, oh, and by the way, when you're going around and you're kind of like putting your fuel in your stove, you spill a little bit on the edge. This heats the outside of the can up. So it's hard to get a can heated up with flame from only up here. You know, if we only got a flame up here, the fuel's down here in the bottom. It's not getting heated. When you put your fuel in, spill it so it actually gets a little flame going. You'll hear a good sizzle of water evaporating and that fuel getting hot. When you hear that, you know it's about time to cook. And this don't really take a long time to do. Now, what you're going for is something that looks about like that. It kind of looks like a little, I don't know, fan blade. I don't know, or gear or something. But what it does, it takes an object that is this diameter and reduces it to a smaller diameter. This allows you to stick it in something the same size and actually only start getting pressure once you're halfway up. This is where we get our best cans. A lot of cans leak around the seam. This don't matter. We're cooking. We're firing it up. If we're getting a good steady flame out of each individual hole, you're doing good. But these cans are meant with nothing. If you wanted that seal good, you need some stuff in there to seal it up. that's a different episode. This is a simple can. And a good drop. So, right now we need to start working on number 2 can. Alright, number 2 can. He's simple. All we got to do is cut him out and shove number 1 down in him. So, like I said, that would have been a good, easy spot if you just, knew the can itself and knew, oh, let's go in the middle. Because, that's a pretty good spot. So here we go. And we just give him a little down force. I like to go down because to me, in my head, it's sealing the bottom around the top. When I feel like I'm going up, I feel like I'm opening the can and giving it more air. So I like to make my majority of the cuts, not saying all of them, downward. Trash. It's up to the next video. Now, basically, this is our bottom. I'm trying to make this one a mini, more for a standard size so you can see. But as you can see, mine are a little bit taller. I do like to give mine a lift. How about that? You can make a mini or you can make a different size. You don't have to have anything underneath either. You need something steady. Each can should be different to you. But anyway, get off the soapbox. We're going for this. Alright? I'm making a mini. Now, same things. Here's where thumbs and patience come in. And then you give it a nice little good squeeze. You can feel it seat on itself. You can hear it seat on itself. Now, it'd be great if you had some JB Weld or something to seal this. Let it dry overnight. Some of them I make with little flanges so I can actually take that bottom and hold it down. But for all case and purposes, we have a stove. A mini. Now, what we're going to do right now is do a little bitty test burn. Like I said, 91% alcohol. First of all, don't want to burn my chair. Might be a piece of crap, but it's mine. I like it all. Now, here we go. First thing we need, like I said, don't burn a place down. Think safety. Next thing you need, alcohol and a lighter. Now, the first thing I do is when I'm testing all these stoves, after I put this in here, I make sure this is gone over there. I don't sit here and play around with fuel by my test thing. So I take anything that's flammable, other than cigarettes, and we'll talk about that in a minute, away from the scenario. Now, a lot of stoves, I've seen the problem, when you pour your alcohol in, it's a good stove, it don't want to get sucked down. Like, see how it's being sucked down? A lot of them just sit there and do that, and they're all high. But what you do is you do that to it, and it'll suck down. This one's got big enough holes where it seems to be doing fine. Now look, I didn't use much. I mean, seriously, I didn't use much. For shits and giggles, remember I told you? That's a little much. But we need some burn on the side. We need some burn on the side of the can to get it all good and going. So let's look, watch. Woo! Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Alright, enough of the singing. Like I said, move your dumb shit, because, oh gosh, we're going to blow the house up. So move that to the side. Now, like I was saying, cigarettes. They come in handy too. So, this is actually heating up the can. And if we listen, we can start hearing the inside of it start to work. I don't know, shitty old iPad. I was just trying to use a little bit of fuel. Alright. We'll use a little more. Still, not even, you know, a shot. This is a shitty stove. Yep. I made a short version. Every stove is a little different. Sometimes they just take a little while to warm up. Now you can hear him starting to sizzle. Hear him sizzling? He's starting to work. Now as you can see, it's starting to come out around the edges. Can you hear the sizzle? Until you heat the stove up, the stove ain't going to do nothing. Now, once the alcohol has been heated up, it'll start coming out more evenly. By the way, I loaded this stove less than half. I was trying to make a point. It don't take much fuel to have a big output. Now, after you get the flame uniformly burning around your stove, you can set a day's worth of water directly on it. Now, you need about, I'm going to say 4 to 5 minutes, which most people say 3, and I say, tell you the truth, if it comes to a rolling boil, your water's safe. But if you can get down and notice, we got a pretty well regulated flame coming uniformly all the way around our stove. And within minutes, this crappy water, which is straight out of the tap, because that shit will give you cancer, by the way, is going to be drinkable. You can do basically any kind of cooking off this, and if you had a small frame where you could actually set your stove above it, it'll burn hotter quicker. So if you're trying to cook a mass amount, you kind of need a small frame to set your pot on. And if you're trying to boil 5 gallons of water on a pop can, you're retarded anyway. You're going to crush the can. You're going to end up with a big fire and water falling down. You know, you might put it out, you might just look stupid in front of everybody. But you got enough here. If you can look in here, you can actually hear the water and see the water starting to boil with just in probably a matter of 3 minutes. But like I said, there's only around 4 ounces of water in here. You get 4.2 ounces per emergency pack. So this is not a weird number or anything. This is about what you get twice a day. Now, I could take this pot off right now and put another pot on it and boil my other half of the day, I'm sure. And plus, I still got this much fuel left if I needed to do something else, like warm my tin up tonight at 3 o'clock. Now, you can limit your burn by limiting its air. So when you develop a can that you can drop this in that only gets a regulated amount of air, now you have a stove. But that's another video too. Today is pop can stoves. And we're boiling water. So I will bid you good day. Make pop can stoves. First of all, you got to drink beer or pop or collect. Guess what? I'm pretty sure your trash, from you or your neighbor, you could make 6 of these a day. Guess what? Alcohol is cheap, and you can find a lighter. And if you can't find a pot in some garage somewhere, you're going to starve to death. So, in the words of BG, peace, love, and bug grease. Slide out and see you later.